Okay, hello everyone. So what I want to show here is how it works a log poisoning attack. The very first thing we're gonna do is an nmap scan on the target machine. I've started already the scan, and we can already see that port 22 and port 80 are open, which is SSH and HTTP. In the meantime, we're gonna run the tool whatweb, which is gonna give us more information about the web server and technologies, such as we can see their PHP 5.6. We can see the version of the Apache server, which is a FreeBSD 2.4. And yeah, after we identified the technologies on the web server, we can just actually go to the browser and try to see what this web server holds. Temporary website to test local PHP scripts. So sites to be tested: ini.php, info, list files, php-info.php. So let's start with the first one. This one is, as usual, this is just a config file. It's a PHP config file, no more, no less, nothing special here. We cannot really do much with this. So we can try the next PHP file, info.php, and again, we don't really see much information here. FreeBSD, Poison is the name of the machine. That's it, nothing else to worry about. Next one, listfiles.php. This one might be actually interesting. So we can see an array, browse.php, index, info, in list files, php info, and pwdbackup.txt. That one already, by the name, you can guess that there is some data, and what we can do is to try to, we can just check what is all about. We copy it, we come back, we paste it. Right, this password is secure. It's encoded at least 13 times. What could go wrong, really? This is base64 encoding. Straight away you can identify it, and has been encoded 13 times. At this point, instead of trying to decode it, first what we can try to do is to test. We can test local file inclusion vulnerability. To do so, we just execute this directory path traversal and try to list the etc password file on the machine. We press Ctrl U to see it better, and here you are. We can see the user charex at the very bottom of the file, and at the very top, root. Well, so the next thing to do, since we can list this file, what if we can list the log files of the machine? So, doing previous research, I found where this log file is located. For that, you need to find the path to this file. So we just delete it, paste it, and here you are. This is the access log of the machine. All the web requests are gonna be stored in this file. The trick here, the interesting part, is we can modify the data. We can set the payload that we want to inject in the post request. So by using curl, and we send a request, a post request to the machine, and we modify the user agent. That's a field in the header that you can modify, and you can inject anything you want. So in this case, I'm just gonna type I am here. After this is sent, we can check again the file, we refresh, and as you can see at the very bottom, I am here. This is an indication that we are injecting code into the log file. Now what is more interesting is what happens if we inject a malicious PHP code, which would enable us to execute code, remote code. This is called remote code execution. So we set a variable cmd. After this is executed, in the URL, we should be able to set the variable cmd and choose any command we want to execute. For example, who am I? We execute it, and you can see www. We try another one, id, and at the very bottom you see again the command has been executed. And the last one, let's try ifconfig, and again we are executing code on the machine. That's the machine IP address. Now the only very last thing we need to do here, since we are executing remote code, is to gain a reverse shell. So we clear the screen, we start netcat on the port 443, so we listen on the port 443. Now we need to go online and look for a one line of code. We can use Pentest Monkey. This is very good resource. We go to netcat and we just copy this one-liner, which is gonna help us to gain the shell. So as a command, we type it, and what this is gonna do is gonna send a shell to our machine. We change that port to the 443. We change this IP address to the 10.16.6. And we need to change the ampersand. So %26. This gives you problems if you don't really change this. This has to be URL encoded. After executing it, you see that the website is hanging, and here you are. Who am I? ID, ifconfig. We gain the shell through a log poisonic attack. Thank you.